Okay, and we are live. Hello, everybody. Um, I am Christine Jossi of Mail Something Pretty, and my partner in crime is.
Anne Lewis. I'm from the Sunshine Coast in Australia. So I'm on the opposite side of the world to Christine, and
So,
I'm going to confess about today because
well,
last
hold
time,
on,
as you
hold on.
know,
Let's.
oh
We have to give a few minutes for people to get on. No one's on yet. This is all for the
oh
replay viewers, so you're getting a little sneak peek. We have to make sure that
oh
people find us. All right, so we have one person on. Just make sure that everyone can hear us correctly and you can see us. So whoever's coming on, please write in the comments that you're here and you can see and hear us, because you know us technical queens. We took us a little while to get it all hooked up. All right, I got one thumb check up. Yes, excellent. Karen is here. You good? All right. All right. So now
Hi,
we can
Karen.
start chatting as people come on. Excellent. Robin is here. Great. So we are up and running. Cindy can see us and hear us. Perfect. Okay. So now you can
Idea.
start your
Well, what I
story.
was going to say, we got a bit cheeky today and we said, well, we don't need to book in an hour before because we have technology mastered. And whilst a few more come on, this is the sign of what it should tell you where it went to. Not that long ago, we had no sound, and I was starting, my stomach was sinking because I went, we've been cheeky, we had confidence in our own technical ability, and perhaps we shouldn't have.
Yeah.
However,
So I actually, Candy, I'm glad you're here live. I'm very excited. Before, while we were setting up, I told my daughter, who is, I've told you guys before, she's studying New Zealand and she will be home next month. Um, and she said, have fun and good luck. And I'm thinking, what do we need luck for? She had a premonition.
now, Christine, can I double check? Did
Yeah,
you tick my box to go live to Facebook
I did.
for
You
me?
are live on Facebook, not YouTube, because I don't have that yet. But
No, no.
yes, your Facebook is live
I know.
because I see the check. I see the check
I
mark.
can't see anything, so
Your
that's
people aren't on
okay.
yet.
Thank
So
you.
this is who I see we have here who have responded: Karen, Robin, Cindy, Candy, and Ethel, and they are all my people.
Yes, that's what I thought. Easy, not a problem.
But
Let's get
but
going.
you're in the
Oh,
morning, so maybe they're just not awake yet.
it's 10 o'clock. Come on.
Oh, okay.
It
All
is,
right, ants people,
coming
write something.
into spring. But come on, team.
Hope
Idea.
sent me a video. Hope sent me a video tonight with snow. She said it was snowing in Dunedin.
It's cold. It's dropped 17, 18 degrees since yesterday.
Yeah, she
That's
said,
Fahrenheit, not hours, or otherwise I'd be in minus category. Well, I might go
right.
first this time, Christine.
Yes, let's go first.
Right?
All right, so let's tell
Oh,
everyone what the challenge was.
righty. Oh, you can do that. I'll be
Okay.
lazy. Oh, wait a minute.
We
I'll make it easier.
You have them all. I only have one color. I'm using one color.
What do you mean you only have one colour? The deal was we had to use all three.
I only have one ink color.
Ah, rightio. Rightio. That's okay.
All right, so go ahead. We had a color challenge this month.
Rightio. Our colour challenge was, well, it's got to be in order because everyone knows I'm a little OCD. Night of Navy, Lemon Lime Twist, and Bubble Bath, which I have to say I spent 3 weeks
You were cursing me for
agonising,
adding bubble bath.
agonising over this, how I was going to do it. So I thought I would challenge myself. For those that watch me fairly regularly, you will know that I don't do simple stamping really well. And I have been challenging myself in the last, well, probably the last 8 weeks, but I tried last Facebook Live with you, Christine, and there were peals of laughter at my keeping it simple. And there was a general vote that perhaps I don't do it well.
It was
So
simple, but it was just a lot, a lot of pages. Like, for those who
well,
didn't watch, she made an accordion card, which was wonderful, but it was what, 10 pages, like later.
Only 9, don't exaggerate.
Okay. That's
I
all
only
right.
8. Oh, sorry.
All right.
So
Do you want me to
today, I'll
show you? Do you want me to just highlight your
show the
tabletop?
desk. Yeah, back to the desk.
You got it. All right. There we. Oh, it's pretty.
So this is my card. Now I've kept it extremely simple, Christine, because I took very personally not the comments from my last simple attempt. So I've only used 13 stamps today. I've kept it very simple, 13 stamps, and that's what all these are over here, lined up in
I
size.
almost commented when I saw you setting up, but I didn't say anything.
So 13 stamps, let's get going.
I love
But
it. I love
this
it.
is actually, I made 2. So and the idea of making 2 was to show you the difference that color combinations can make, because this one I used the navy background and the bubble bath first layer, and this one I did the bubble bath, navy, and obviously then my stamped images.
It's
Now
it's drastically different.
they are, and it just
Yeah.
tells you why you should kind of play with colors, because this one for me is the one I absolutely love. The other thing I will say about this when I was stamping it, this was the first one I made, and I had a larger sheet, and I cut it down, and it gave me more room to play. This one I just kept to size. Tonight I'm keeping to size, and I kind of feel it's a little harder to do.
Okay.
The idea of when you do a larger size is when you trim it down, you can actually then use one of those pieces to go on the inside of your card to decorate the inside. I'm going to move this away. Let's get started. Oops, it's over here. So here's my bubble bath.
You're already getting good
Cardstock.
comments.
I'm not getting anything my end.
No, you're getting no. You're getting good comments. Very
Oh, wait a
pretty.
minute. Sorry, I've got to actually click on comments because I'm the technical guru, and no comments were going to come unless I tick that box. So
Robin
I thought,
says that bubble bath base is her favorite.
yeah, I know. So this cardstock is 8 and see, because I'm halfway in my head for American in here, 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. So yours would be 8 and
by 5
8 1/2 by 5 1/2. So it's very close. You would just change it up a little bit. And then my next layer, just got to make sure I pick the right one. My next layer is, oops, I'll do this, the Night of Navy, of course. My next layer is 4 7/8 by 5 1/4. And this layer is 3 3 3/4. I've just given that measurement wrong. Should be 3 7/8 down there. This is 3 3/4 by 5 1/8. So
and then
I wanted
inches
to,
for everyone. It would be the navy would be 5 1/4 by 4, and the white would be 5 by 3 3/4.
in US
Yes.
measurements. Sorry, if you're in the US using US cardstock, because our
Right.
cardstock,
Right.
if you're just watching us,
different.
is different. Now, someone just said, "Did the earth shake?" I'm watching live.
Yeah, that's
Candy?
Candy, because she always watches the replay.
Oh. Well, I was going to say that that was Christine laughing at my 13, being cheeky at me with my 13 stamps.
Yeah.
Ideo. So the way that I do this is I decide what is my largest stamp, and I will start with it, and I try and put 3 of each one on because it gives it some sort of balance. And I will also make sure that I stamp some off. So it looks like the paper that I'm stamping goes like that, like forever. Now, if you really liked this design, you can make a whole sheet of A4 and you'd get 4 cards out of it. but I wanted to keep it down. And I'm just being cheeky because you know that if I keep saying it's simple, it will become more simple. So this is the biggest stamp, and I'm using, which I forgot to tell you, is the Modern Garden stamp set. Now, there's not a lot of stamps in either the annual or the mini catalogue that you can actually do this technique with. Once we used to have so many of them, but there's so many different
So,
stamps
Anne, can
in
I
the
interrupt you?
catalogue. Yep.
I've
Yes.
never seen this. I've never seen this stamp set before. Which catalog is it in?
Oh, yeah, it's from the mini catalogue.
Oh, I love it. So the holiday catalog. I
Yeah.
love it. I
So,
never noticed it.
yeah, and I would call it the Christmas catalogue. It comes with designer series paper, which I showed as my second sample last month for the accordion card. You know, the red poinsettias?
Mm-hmm.
It's the one that matches the stamp set. So
Okay.
it's a really nice stamp set. And I'm so glad that they brought it because, as I said, I'd searched the annual catalogue and there wasn't too much that
I
I
like
liked
it.
there. Now, I'm just going to say, Christine has told me many times that if I'm using my photopolymer stamps, I need to use a mat. I have to say I never do.
Especially with that stamp, the one you just
Yes,
used, because there's so much surface
yes.
area. Yeah.
Well, it just reminded me, and I have to be so. And I always make sure that I have one full image, no matter what, and it's never in
Mm-hmm.
the center. It's always centered off. I don't want to make Christine look good because that one isn't anywhere near as good as that. I refuse to acknowledge that she was right. And I also always turn around my stamps. Now, I don't know, I must have had some, oh, I know what I did. I've been
Glue.
blending and I've been using navy and I had my ink upside down on a
That's
navy
all right, because I
piece.
bet your words can go right on top of it.
Well, you're not going to see it because I've then got this navy insert that's going to go over it. I've been blending, so some of my ink pads are a little... now, there is no right or wrong from here. It just is the best you can do, where you like it. But I always put this bit, there's a kind of bit that it lines up with. And this adds the absolute wow to it, I think, this bit.
Yeah. Oh, Mary Lou, everyone's been wondering where you were. I'm so glad you're here. You'll see in the comments. Karen was wondering where Mary Lou was. We're making friends, which is really nice. And Nancy piped in that it's already snowing. I was wondering, Nancy, if you were the ones who got the snow today or yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
I have yet to see... Oh, that's not true. I've seen lots of snow.
You did
But
see it.
stay in snow. I have never stayed in
Right.
snow. That's a better way of looking at it. So now I'm using this one here because it's a favourite. And you get to choose. You don't want to line them anywhere so they all look like they're in a line.
I am really liking this stamp set.
I love it, to be honest.
I don't know why I never noticed it before.
I know. So so that was using the lemon lime twist, obviously. Then my next biggest stamp, or the one with a fair bit of wow, is this one. Let's just show you. Is this one here. As I said, my navy ink pad, because I've been blending to death on it. I've sucked a little bit of the navy out of it.
That is a good
And
stamp.
I always work on I try and work on the rule of threes. So you can see I've done 3. I work on the triangle version as well. I'm not going to use all these stamps.
Oh, you have to use all 13.
I don't think I can fit them on. I've got this one, which I really like, but I ended up liking this one, the lemon lime twist with the lines on it. I liked it a bit better. So, as I said, I always make sure I have one stamp that is full.
So Robin says, I'm like you, Anne. I like using lots of stamps and papers too. More is
Thank you,
better.
Robin.
And then Karen says, I've seen this stamp set in the catalog, but Anne is the first one to use it. She's giving us a good look to see at it.
Thank you. I have to say, I had vowed I wouldn't buy any more out of the catalogue, but I really, really like this, and it jumped into my.
And I think you have some followers. Kirsty Palmer's here, and Jan
Oh,
McCord
hello,
is here.
Kirsty, and hi, Jan. How are you?
Anne was
Thank
feeling a little
heavens.
lonely.
I was. I was thinking, obviously, Australia is sleeping in today. Now, so I've just used the bubble bath on, if you can see it, on this one, because I needed it fairly small. I need a center for these flowers. So I'm going to grab this, which is what this circle is. It's pretty easy. It's very easy to line up, even if I'm not over it.
So this would be, to make multiples, you could either have a whole bunch of papers lined up and just stamp each one, the same stamp, or just do a large, even a 12 by 12 paper, and then cut it up.
This is the way you make your own DSP. So when you want those colors that suit you. Now, my secret to doing this is, actually, I haven't used all 13 stamps, surprisingly. Is
There's always the inside.
I always have one the smallest stamp in that stamp set, that I go in and fill any of the white spaces up, because I'm not good at white spaces. I need to have something.
A good filler.
Yeah. And I want them all at different angles. But to be honest, there's not a lot of white space here.
No, it's beautiful.
So it's quick. Now, I'm going to put that aside because I've got a second job here with those stamps. And I should show you what I did last night. I made this really nice card, and then cleaning up, had left an ink pad open, and it was on the ink pad and it soaked up all the ink. So I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to then show you the next. Oh no, here we go. So you can't have naked envelopes. So here's my envelope. So I've done exactly the same on the envelope. So I'll do that. Just repeat those steps. But I need to bring this paper back. You don't mind that? I can't hear you.
We don't need it anymore.
We don't. Now I've just got some low-tack tape here. I could use washi tape, but what I found is it wasn't wide enough for how I was doing it. So it's just low-tack tape. You can get it anywhere. You can use post-it notes, but it was just a little long for post-it notes, which is what I normally use. So exactly the same. What do I do with my envelope? I can't even find. Oh, here it is. I'll just put it there. Hopefully not throw it in the ink pad. Got to find my thing. So I'm just making sure that it will match, but completely different.
Everyone's loving the envelope.
Because I'm not reading anything, to be honest.
I know, that's why I'm reading them for you.
So because it's a different shape, different size, I have to, whoops, sorry, I was going to say my ears dropped out, but you know what I mean. So I've got to change how I would do this one to make it look like it actually fits on here. And the navy. Make it easier, I wish. Oops, I don't do that. And I'm wearing white pants, which is really unusual for me, because there's a reason for that. I have normally if I get desperate, I'll quickly wipe my hands on what I could have been wearing. Now, we'll go back to exactly the same as what we did before. If you were doing multiple of these, you would truly just line them up and off you go.
Yeah, Christy says no light colors while crafting. Yeah, we've all made that mistake.
I can't believe I did this. Everyone knows I always wear black. Yep, for very good reason.
Wipe it on your hand or your legs. Oh, you don't wipe them on your legs?
I try not to. I think
when I have jeans on, I don't care. I just sometimes wipe them on my jeans. Uh-oh. And we lost your desk.
I'm silent. I don't know.
There we go. Whew. We lost you for a second. Hold on, let me put you back on. Okay, it turned all black, but you're back.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, probably because the phone rang. Hello. Put this on. A little bit there.
Few is right, Karen. We don't want to lose Anne.
Well, as I said last week, Christine's got control of everything. So if I drop out, let me know. Or if I get too cheeky for her, she might drop me out.
I could shut you off.
Yes. Wouldn't surprise me if I got too cheeky. Oh, not that you'd throw me out of court, Christine. Okay. That I got too cheeky was the
what would I wouldn't be surprised with that either.
Hello. So here we go. Oops, did you see that?
Did you do the wrong color?
No, I've done it twice. Well, I look at that. Yeah, don't know where they went.
It's gonna turn purple.
I know. What if anyone saw what I just did? Don't mirror it. It's not good practice.
Don't repeat.
Don't repeat. Anyway, so all I do is gently peel this off. Remember, depending on your paper, that if it's got a bit of a shiny surface, whatever tape you've used might be still a bit wet. Yeah, anyway, so there we go. But I've still got, I'm going to close, I can't close them up yet. Yes, I can. My fingers have got ink all over them. I just threw something on the ground.
Do you have a chamois nearby?
I do somewhere. Because I've got a computer on my desk. Wait a minute, I've just got to pick this up. It's my envelope. So I want to just pick what was the feature of this. Actually, I will cover. I'm hoping that you will see how I may have used some green on there. Now, to fix that, and you can see a little bit of, could be just a little touch of green on there. How I would fix that is I would just grab a paper towel, take off all that affected area, and then just re-ink the ink pad, and it'll be as good as gold.
I think you probably did that on purpose for a teaching moment.
Oh, of course I did. Thank you, Christine.
You're welcome.
I was in a bit of trouble. Where did I do this? I did this kind of nearly just slightly off the page here.
Now, can I interject? Is your card going to be portrait or horizontal?
Oops. It would be. But that was just to show you where I would put it if it was portrait. But I would just turn this over.
Wait, you could put it in opposite corners.
Yeah,
just leave it like that. Leave it that way.
I can't. You know how we get set? Now, I'm about to post tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow, something that when I was in Boston, not that you showed me, you did in front of me, of which I, to be honest, I never got over. I was still, that was not the scissor story.
No, I know what story.
The block story.
Oh,
where you put a big stamp and you had no block. And as I said to you at the time, I know you can do it. I've never done it, but for something about it, it's so wrong. It just seems so wrong. I did it last night.
Oh,
Thought
good for
I'm going to have a
you.
go at this. You got to always
And
learn, I think,
did it
and
work?
change things up. Yeah, of course it did. Of course it did, which I knew it would. It just never occurred to me, and it's like so obvious. Why wouldn't I
So for
do it?
people who are a little lost,
Yeah.
when Anne was here and we did a live together, I don't remember which, but I used one of those background stamps and I just inverted the stamp so the red rubber was facing up. I didn't use a clear block or anything. I just put the actual stamp up on my desk and Anne couldn't believe I didn't put it on a block.
Like
But
my head spun out. I was just looking, going, get your brain to think about this. You know it works, but why haven't you done it? It's so
right,
obvious.
because the block is just so big. And then if you're just inking it straight up on the table anyways, you just raised it up off the table really by using the block. You didn't change the stamp.
It did make it easier to
That
clean.
is a
That
lot
little
of
bit here.
dimensionals. Holy moly.
I must have a crafting business, you'd think, wouldn't you?
That's a lot.
I know. So why did I spin it around? I just like this look better. There's no right or wrong. It's with most design, it's what appeals to you. Rightio. Now I
Christy wants to know our dimensionals on sale.
which Christine is that?
Kirsty, excuse me.
Oh,
Kirsty
Kirsty, that
Palmer.
makes sense. I think she uses a lot. I don't think she can let me know too much. Now, so I don't normally do my sentiments like this, but I must be in a process of change creatively wise because I decided I could do
Mm.
this and I like how it pops and it keeps it still really simple. I did, you see, in this card, I just used the Duo oval punch. It's boring. I like this one so much better. I've already embossed the sentiment to make it a little quicker. Oh, I'm going to cut it, and then I've already cut this one. I want to drop it. It's probably a bit big for me. I'm gonna have to trim it. Now to get this straight, because it's such a small piece, I just always line it up with the lines. Now I took my cutting blade back up to the top here because I've got a bit of an edge here and I was worried it might hit it.
I was going to
And
ask you if you normally cut from the top down or
no,
the bottom up.
whichever way, wherever that blade is where it sits. So I want this a little off, a little shorter than there. I'll line it up here, just line it up and trim it again. Hopefully I can get that straight. And then I've got a little pink piece here and I'll drop it underneath. I have to put this together in a second.
Now, why don't you glue or adhere the green to the blue first and then put it on the pink and then cut?
Does that might make sense, Christine?
Okay, sorry.
I think that's how I did it the first time, but for some unknown reason,
There was a lot of
I'm
like
going.
holding and making sure it was all lined up
Oh,
and
I know.
everything.
All right, so I have looking for my glue. I have glued this one on. No laughing at the small amount of glue that I just used, Christine.
Mm-hmm.
You can't help yourself. See, this is how my business goes okay because I self-support it.
Right, you're buying all that adhesive.
Yeah. Oh, and then now this has got, because I've cut it there, that's got a little ridge there from my blades, which are brand new. Yay. They still do sometimes leave a little, just checking what I'm doing here. I can't see any
Oops.
comments. So I found cutting from top down makes a smoother cut. I haven't
Ah,
tried that.
interesting. Because I like to cut from the bottom up.
Oh,
Because
I like,
partly because I have my score blade is on top of
yeah,
my
well, I try and
yeah.
keep. So I did, for me, I got all those the same size. It's a bit hard with the lights to get that lined up. I'm going to use 2 dimensionals and pop it up, and my card is finished. So
I love it.
it is a simple card, I think. And
It
if I
is.
hadn't
It is.
used embossing, it would have made these. Oh, got too many of them
Oops.
on here.
Well, you figure
We
you
can,
used 3 color inks, so that's not
yeah,
overboard, and you only use 1 stamp set.
yeah,
Yeah, I like
just
it.
most of it. Actually, I didn't use 4. Now that stamp set, I can't even remember. Oh, it comes from that. Um,
Yeah, it comes from the same stamp
Enjoy Your
set.
Special Day. It comes from the same
Yeah,
um,
I pulled it out, so
card
when
set.
I
Yeah.
show my desk, I'll show everyone where it is in the catalog because I popped it up.
Ideo, thank you.
You're
Ideo,
welcome.
so that's my card. That's my envelope. Oh, I've got to put this in here, but I might do that off screen. So you all know how to do that. So
Oh, it's
thank you,
beautiful.
Christine.
You're
Something a
welcome.
little different. I'm getting better at simple. I'm giving myself an 8 out of 10 for that simple.
You're so
Um,
hard on yourself. It's perfect.
well, I did use embossing, so that takes it off the simple version. But
All right, let's see. Karen says, Anne, regarding the sentiment stamped inside, maybe it's supposed to say LOL. I guess at cards I made months ago, I stamped my inside sentiment in the middle of the layer, just like you do.
thank you, Karen. That's the right way of doing it.
And then Mary Lou loves the idea of using a stamp set to make designer paper for a card. Excellent, simple, Anne. Nice.
Thank you, Mary Lou.
And
You can
then Mary
emboss
Lou also said you
and
can
be
emboss and
simple.
be simple.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you.
I
I
think,
thought you said you
yeah.
can embarrass and be simple. So lucky I reread that. Ideo,
So
Christine, I'm going to hand over to you because you're going to show where that
yes. So let me put
stamp set
my,
is in the catalogue, and this will
there we go.
be
So
for
this is
both.
the
Oh, I've
green
got it right
holiday
here anyway.
catalog.
Yep.
And it's here on, right here. So something I looked right past, but I loved all the flowers that you did, because even though it's kind of in the Christmas catalog, you obviously made it non-Christmas, so that's great.
Well, see, this just tells you, just to hold your paper there, Christine. This
Oh,
is my page that it's on. It's completely different than your page.
you mean my catalog? Hold on, let me put that back.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, yours is on a different page? Wait, hold on,
Yeah,
let me
look at
put us,
mine.
no, hold on, let me find us.
You got to put us both up.
I'm trying. Okay, there we go.
Oh, see what my page looks like?
Wait, I'm gonna put, huh. Oh, wait, hold on, wrong one.
That's yours. Look at that.
Interesting. I wonder why.
Yeah, so what page is yours on?
No, and flip the page one more.
Oh, oops. Oops. Well, I like my page better. Oops. Yes, rightio.
Wow.
Rightio. Well,
Oh,
this is the
you're
really
so
nice
funny.
designer series paper.
Yes.
So, and that's it. So I really like the paper. I love that stripe. There's a couple of masculine prints in there as well. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Christine.
Okay.
And
I'll
I'm
make you
just
laugh.
going to, and excuse anyone who's blonde, but I am actually blonde under this red hair, genuinely blonde. So I'm going to say that was my blonde moment.
All right. So I am not making a card. I'm going to make a box. And I'm using the Paper Florist dies that are in the annual catalog. So I just wanted to show you where they are in the catalog. They're in the back, and they don't really go with any particular stamp set. They're kind of a standalone product. All right, so you ready, Anne? Can you see?
I can. Oh my
So
goodness.
here's my box with a pretty little navy flower. And so my
It
bubble
is
bath,
gorgeous.
thank you. The only bubble bath I used was for the center because I wanted it to pop. And so I thought the navy blue and the lemon lime twist paper really kind of worked out nicely. So I'm going to show you how to make that. So the inspiration, I had made this box a few years back and I saved it. And so I just kind of remeasured it and made it. So it's just a little, the top comes off a little box. So it's actually a good size. Like that's the size of my hand and that's the size of the box. So you can fit kind of quite a lot in it. All
There's
right, so
been
yeah,
a bit of box making this week. As you know, I made boxes this week as
I
well.
know, I know, I watched you. All right, so I'm gonna start. I did this one, and I'll show you. You could obviously change whatever kind of base you wanted, but I liked the navy and the lime together. So I'm gonna
Stunning.
start with my native navy cardstock, and then I made this as a template. So I'm going to cut it square, and I'm sorry, these are they're not American measurements. What do you call them?
Imperial.
English?
Inches.
Imperial, thank
Inches
you.
is good enough.
Inches.
Yeah.
So 6 7/8 by 6 7/8. So that's what we're going to cut. And there's a reason why it's on the eighth measurement versus like 3/4. And I'll show you that in a second. So let me open up my arm here, get that in there. So I'm going to cut six. Oh, that has a wrinkle in it. 6 7/8. So that's just the larger notch before the 7. The tiny one would be a 16. So 6 7/8 by 6 7/8. So here's my square. And then I'm going to score it on two sides. So at 2 and 4 7/8. So at 2, and really this is just kind of a basic box that you can play with. So 2 and 4 7/8. And then I'm going to flip it and do it again at 2 and 4 7/8. And the reason why it's on that 7/8 versus like the 3/4 is because I need my box, the bottom, to be just a hair smaller than the top so that it just fits nice on and off. All right, so I'm gonna hold that, and I'm just gonna cut my, chop my lid while my cutter's out. So the paper is from, what's it called? The Glorious Gingham 6x6 designer paper. You get 5 colors in here. So you get blueberry bushel. Here's the lemon lime twist I want. Take that out. And you get pretty peacock, berry burst, and depending on how you say this, pecan pie or pecan pie. And
Yeah,
then
I'm a
each,
pecan. We're a pecan pie here.
oh, good, me too. So each page you get either that gingham or this gingham. I kind of like the little check one, so I'm going to do that. So it's a 6x6, so I don't even have to cut it, but I do have to score it. So I made this little template. So it's 6x6, and I'm going to score it at 1.5. Excuse me, at a half, 1.5, 4.5, and 5.5. And I'll do that on 2 sides, just like I did on the other one. So let's make sure this is straight for you guys. So a half. So just be careful when you score, you're not pushing it too hard because you don't want to rip the paper. 1.5. What did I say? 4.5. And I will take a picture of these templates and post them so you guys can see them. And 5.5. And then I'm just going to rotate 90 degrees and do it again. So half, 1.5, 4.5, and 5.5. So you can make this box, depending on whatever paper you use for any occasion, just by varying up your papers. All right, so these are the 2 pieces that I have. So we are going to, I think I'm going to actually stamp before I cut it. I don't have to worry about it seeping through. So you could leave it plain, like I did in the strawberry box. It's plain, but I thought it had a nice little detail. So I have the leaves. So I used the artistically inked stamp set. So I'm going to use this leaf, and I will use the best wishes for the label. So I am only using, Anne, 2 stamps on my project.
Only
2.
2?
Just 2.
But,
And
but
I'm only
everybody
using 1
knows
ink.
20 is better than 2.
And I'm only using 1 ink pad. All right, so I'm going to, I also like to go off my paper, and I'm going to rotate it. So when I did this the first time, yeah, I have it here. So when I inked it all, it turned out that how I did it, I ended up leaving a lot of empty space on the side. So really, you kind of need to make sure that the middle part, because when the cover is covering, you won't see it. So I'm just rotating my leaf in all different directions.
So, Christine, it doesn't matter if you go over that center score line?
No, I'm going to cut some of it anyway, so I just figured it was easier to stamp before I cut.
Yep.
It really doesn't matter. All right, so now.
Such a nice leaf pattern.
Thank you. There we go. Set that aside so I don't put my hand in it. So now I'm just going to cut from on this score line, just here at the top here, and then these 2. So it's going to look like that's what's going to get cut, and that's what's going to get a cut. These ones obviously stay. So I'm just going to use my scissors. And I'm just going to.
I know you're getting great feedback as well.
Oh, goody.
I'm just. I scrolled up and then. Love your cute box from Nancy.
Oh,
darling box,
you,
Miss Christine from Karen.
Thank you.
Pecan in New England, or pecan. I'm not even sure.
No,
anyway,
pecan. Just like my. Go ahead and say it. What was like? How do I accentuate my word?
Sure. Sorry, a slight exaggeration on that one.
No, but do you know, I was talking to my aunt one day, and she said it even longer than I did, and I had to giggle. So when Anne was visiting, apparently I say the word S-U-R-E quite often and long, so I accentuate there. Sure. When I'm in agreement.
And Australians say sure, like it's very quick and short.
All right, so this piece is going to be like this. So it's hard for you to see. I have my score lines on there. Actually, I can hold on them, but that's kind of why I did a template also, so you would kind of see, and I'll show you where I'm going to cut. But
Karen says,
yeah,
Karen says she loves seeing your template, so easy to follow.
Oh, yeah, I'm a visual learner, and so like I do very poorly with PDFs. Like if I read them, I get so confused. So I make these, and then what I'll do is I'm going to paper clip this together, and I have a binder, and I just leave it there. So, and I should have done that when I made this years ago, and I didn't. So that's why I do remeasured it. All right, so let me actually put this here. So I'm going to cut up. So I have a fold here, a score line here, and a score line here. I'm going to actually cut to this middle score line. And then I'm going to notch like that. And then I'm going to cut up this score line here. I'm actually going to cut this off. And then I'm going to notch and cut this off. Did I do that right? I did that right. Okay. And then I'm going to do it on this side. Same thing. Go all the way up to that middle score line. Make a little notch. And if you want to get, oh no, I'm not going to get fancy because I don't want to mess it up. You can cut that off. You can cut that off. And then I'll make one more notch on this side. So that's why it looked funny, because I notched it on the wrong side. So yeah, that looks better. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to actually flip my whole paper around and just repeat what I did. So I'm going to cut all the way up, all the way up. I'm going to notch, that piece comes off. I'm going to notch that piece, and I'm just going to cut this little piece off. And one last time. But I'm tempted to cut this way, but if I did that, this whole thing would get cut off. So that's, you have to pay a little bit of attention to it. All right.
Everyone's appreciating your template.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. Yeah. So now we'll do the top first. So these little pieces are going to get folded in. So actually, let me take this off so you can see it. So when you open it up, you have kind of a little liner. So it's pretty. That one didn't stick.
So why do you add the liner? I've never added.
You don't have to. It just looks
no, but
pretty.
why do you?
Especially
I think it looks great.
When you have it also makes it a little thicker.
Stronger. That's what I thought might be the case.
Yeah. So all right. Let me get my glue out. So I'm going to start. I'm going to put glue on these two little pieces here, and they're going to get folded in. And what will happen is this will get up, and then you can either fold that under, or you can do that last. So let's see as we go. Oop, that was actually more glue that came up than I wanted to. So these two, you see it? Yeah, get folded in, and this gets lifted up. So I think what I'll do, if you fold it over, then you know you have that right angle. Oop. I'm going to fold these the other way so you can see it better. So that will get like that. So I'm going to put a little glue. You'll see in a second it will stick because I have a little trick. All right, so that gets folded over, and then watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to use little clothespins, and that's going to stick. So now I can do this side. So I'm going to put glue here and here. That gets lifted up. And you have a few moments before the glue dries. We'll glue here, and then I'm going to fold this over. And I'm going to add clothespins. This way, you don't need 5 hands to do it. 2 works just fine. And then I'll put glue here. I'm going to fold this under. And one more time. So that's the top of the box. So it really does come together pretty quick. So we're just going to let that dry for a moment, and then we'll do the bottom. So this one comes together even faster. So these two, so I have my stamp side, so I want to make sure that's on the outside. So I'm going to just fold one side in. I'm going to put glue. I'm going to fold this one over. Oops. I'm trying to do it so you can see it. Like that. Put glue on this piece. And then I'll just lift this up. And I'm going to borrow a clothespin. Like that. And I'm just going to do this side. So I find it's, if I just do kind of one side at a time. That goes down like that. And then up like that. So that is the box. So the top and the bottom. Give that a second to dry. And so I will stamp my label. So, and then we'll make the flower. So wait till you see this, and tell me if you recognize this.
I do. How nice is that?
Have you taken yours apart yet?
No. No.
So
I
Anne
did
and
pull
I,
out a couple of things.
oh good,
Oh, the
Anne and I were in
pins.
Las Vegas, and so as one of our prizes from Stampin' Up, they gave us this box, but it was had like desk organizer stuff. So there's a little notebook in here, and there were push pins and magnets and paper clips and pens. And so I just this week took my box apart because sometimes don't you want to like savor a gift, like you don't want to take it apart? But my first thought was when I saw this box was for this exact reason, for little compartments for little pieces.
Well, you
All
said
right,
it as soon as
so
you saw it.
yeah, so I'm gonna make the flower. Do you have these dies, Anne?
No.
Ooh,
And
okay.
every
I'm gonna
time I
show you.
see you use them, I go, I need them. And then I go,
They're
I need,
fun.
do not need them. I do not need
All
them.
right, so let me show you the dies. So you get a lot of pieces. So these are the dies you get. So I'm only using a couple of them for this flower. So I'm using, let me put them all on this side. I'm using this piece right here. This is for the middle, the stamen, I believe it's, I forget, pistil or stamen of the flower. I'm using this piece to make the petals. It
I
cuts
love
3 at
this.
once. And then I ended up using that leaf, and I used this little circle. I think that's it. So all these other pieces are for other types of flowers. I only use those pieces. So these are, I cut 3 of them, almost look like combs. And so I found it's, if you give it just a gentle, I don't know what the word is, roll, I guess, or not a crease, but just a gentle massage with the bone folder, it gets it a little curly, and it just helps break down the paper a little bit, and it helps roll it because we're going to roll it. So my other trick is to use a toothpick. So what I'm going to do is, it doesn't matter what the comb part, it can go in this direction or this direction, it doesn't matter, but you just want to make sure that when you do all 3, they're all in the same direction. So I'm just going to put my toothpick on here and just roll it. And the toothpick just helps grip something, and it also helps you do it tightly. So you're going to roll all the way to the end. And then I'm going to just put like a tiny dab of glue to glue it. Now you're going to see a little glue seeping out, and that actually is a good thing, because then I'm going to attach this one with the teeth in the same direction right on top of that seam with that extra glue. And I'm just going to roll it. Now you can do flowers on all different, you can do some with just one of these. I'm going to do 3 on this one. You can do as many, you can do, if I want to introduce another color, I could introduce another color. I didn't bring all my samples up, but I've kind of done different flowers. So now I don't really
Now,
need the toothpick. It's just to help at the beginning.
Ideo. Everyone's liking the clothespins idea.
Oh, good.
Um,
This was the first
and
project I've used those clothespins. Usually I just hold it, but I
I have
figured,
little, they call them baton clips, which you can't seem to get. I've searched everywhere in the world. But they're just
oh,
like little clips. But even there's some of the many Stamping Up clips that they've had. Now, Mary Lou says, I'm getting that sick feeling in my stomach I get whenever you tell me we have to make a bow. This requires real good, fine motor skills. I have none. I don't think that's true. I've seen your cards,
Mary Lou, you've made one of these
Mary Lou.
flowers before. I'm pretty sure you made one of these before. We did them on a gift bag. You don't have to, well, I guess you kind of have to tie a bow around the box. You could just glue it on the box. You don't have to tie a bow. All right, so this die cuts 3 of these petals. And so you need at least 6 to make a flower, and you can do more. So you have the option. I didn't understand how to make these flowers, to be honest with you, when I first got it, because they have these little slits and there's a little score line. So I was trying to like put the slits together. That's not how we do it. So I'm going to show you. So you can either curl your flower a little bit, the petal, at the beginning, or you can curl it at the end. I just find it a little easier to kind of curl them at the beginning. And it's just kind of rolling the paper and breaking the fibers down a little bit. So I already have a few of these glued together, so I'm just going to glue a couple here for the sake of TV. So I'm going to put a little dab of glue. Do you see how little that is, Anne? You paying attention?
So do you want to, I think that won't hold it, Christine. And how does that support your business?
So I'm just
It'll take you forever to get
side.
through a glue bottle.
I know. So you just, it doesn't matter if either side, but and then just hold it. And oh, I did that one too fast. So you're going to do a bunch of them, however many you want. So these two are newly glued. Do those later. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I have 6. Again, you can make these flowers like as big or as small as you want. The other thing I'm going to do while this is drying, remember I showed you, I have this little circle here. So I cut the same bubble bath, and that's just going to give me a little base to put, there we go. I'm just going to put this right on top. And there's different size circles in this die set. So if you happen to make, I'm all sticky, this bigger, there's a bigger circle. But I found it's going to be helpful to when we glue it in the inside of the flower. So that's why I just put that base. All right. So to put the flower together, I have these curled glued petals. I'm going to put a little glue here, and I'm going to put this petal right on top of it. And I just have to hold it for a couple seconds. Usually I'm impatient. And then, so those two are glued together. And I'll put a little glue on top of that one. And I'm going to put this one right on top. And I'm just going to hold it so it sticks together. So you have a choice at this point. You can either put petals, if you wanted to add your next petals on the back and build it that way around on the outside, you can do that. And so that's what I did with this one. I did this one two-tone, but you can kind of see, find the difference between these two, besides the color difference. This is a tighter flower, and this is a looser flower. None is wrong, none is right. It's just whatever look you want. So I kind of like the tighter flower look.
I do
so
too.
How you get that is, so now I have my 3 glued together. So rather than add the petals on the outside, I'm going to add them on the inside. So I'm going to put more glue there, and I'm going to put this petal in between those 2 seams. Again, it's just more of the patience of letting the glue sit, which I try to rush it. You just have to let it sit, and I'm squeezing it together pretty tight. And then I'm stuck to it. All right, then I add a little more glue. I'm going to put this petal in between those 2 seams. And I'll do that one more time on this side. And again, if you wanted to make this, you could make this flower as big, as many colors as you want. You just kind of keep adding layers to it. But I kind of like the 6 petal look. All right. So I'm gonna let that sit for a second and dry. You can also take like your bone folder or scissors or something to kind of push it, because you're squeezing those layers together with that glue. So this is my favorite part of this flower. So I have this inside of the flower. So where's my label here? And so right now it's all tight and together, but I need to kind of fluff it up. So I'm going to hold it down with my finger and with my thumb, or I think it works better with thumb. You just kind of fluff it.
You're making
And
this
then
bundle irresistible. You know that, don't you?
isn't that the point? Wait till you see for my finale. I'm so excited to show you the
Oh,
last part of it that I haven't showed you yet. All right. So
this is
then
going to
I
be
have
in
this
my
fluff.
order.
I have made actually a box like this. It's actually a little smaller, and I even use just these as flowers, just these fluffy. I'll have to take a picture of them because it came out. I copied it from someone, but it's really cool. All right, so this has had a few minutes to dry, hopefully enough. And so because I put that flat circle base on the bottom, now I have something to put glue on. It's a little easier to glue right on the inside. So, and this is pretty sturdy, so you can really kind of push on it pretty good. So I just think it's so cute. So then I have already cut a label out of those. I think they're called the Taylor something or
Tailor-made.
other. Yeah, that's it. And I'm gonna stamp again. You ready? I have my best wishes. I'll stamp that right on the bottom. And then I cut out some leaves. I use Granny Apple Green, so it's a little bit darker than the Lemon Lime Twist just to make it more pronounced. So I'm going to stick those. Let's see, I actually have 3, so I'll do 3 on this one. On my label here, kind of guess where they're going to go. And my glue.
And what color was that?
This is Granny Apple Green. I just thought to make it a little bit darker than the Lemon Lime Twist.
This set is awesome, says Mary Lou, but I know
Oh, good.
my fingers would make it look like someone ran rampant through the garden, strewing
I
destruction
know.
everywhere.
You might get a little gluey. All right, so I'm going to put a little glue on, well, actually more than a little, on the
What?
bottom of my foot. I know, look. Here it is.
That's an N amount of glue.
I know, and I'm going to stick it right here in the middle.
And
So I do
Wanda
have to let it
says,
dry.
so Wanda
Go
says,
ahead.
a very cute box, a present in itself.
Yes.
And everyone likes a tighter flower.
Oh, yeah, I thought so. All right, so here's my box. And again, oh, I can show you. Remember I said if you wanted it all one color. It looks pretty one color too, but I like it with a navy blue. So when
Definitely
I did
like the
in,
contrast.
yeah, when I did the original measurements, remember I said this was on the 7/8 and this was on like the half. So, and that's because they're almost the same size, but the lid is a little bit wider, so it just goes on nice and easy. And that's the reason why. All right, so I have Night of Navy ribbon, and I happen to have Lemon Lime Twist ribbon. And you could either put them both on here, but what I did was I didn't measure it. I tied a bow. Mary Lou, I think you can do this though. Tie a bow on there. Oh, I'm all sticky. Maybe a little longer. You could even tie a knot because really the label's going to cover it. And I like to, when I'm tying a bow, oops, it's all twisted now. I like to leave it still attached to my spool of ribbon because if I need to redo it or I guessed wrong on the measurements, I can just undo it and it's still attached before I cut it. All right, so that one I'm going to cut. Were you going to say something?
I was going to say, I'm looking for the name of that navy. I'm searching my desk.
Oh, it's in the annual catalog.
Oh, here. Oh, I think, yep, I got it.
And
It is called the Night of Navy.
I could have told you that. Night of Navy. Oh, that's in another language.
Oh, bordered ribbon.
Bordered
Night of
ribbon.
Navy bordered ribbon.
Yep, I love it.
It's beautiful.
So this Lemon Lime Twist comes in a combo pack. It comes with Petal Pink It's a little wider than this, and that's also in the annual. And so what I did with this one is I just looped it through, and I'm just cutting it way longer than I need it, but this one I did cut. And then I'm going to just put that right underneath my bow and tie it on that way. There's many ways you can tie on a little label, and you could just tie a knot, or I'll just tie it off. And like I said, I cut that. See, I cut that way too long. All right, so there you go.
Love it, love it, love it. It is stunning.
Thank you. So do you want to be really gobsnapped? Is that the right word?
I'm already gobsmacked.
So I was thinking, how could I make this? Oh, remember I was going to ask you a question. I said, no, I'll wait for the live. So do you have poinsettia flowers in Australia?
We do.
Okay. Yeah. So wouldn't this be nice if this could look like a poinsettia?
Yes. How would you do that, Christine?
There it is. So what I did was I took those petals. Let me find one. So these petals, remember I used 6 of them? Yeah. All I did was I just made them a little bit angular. And then I made it exactly the same, and I made the flower exactly the same way. I used real red and cherry cobbler just to give it a little depth in the flower. But I'll take pictures of it, the steps and stuff, but it's a kind of a different look of the, there we go. That's a little softer, rounder, and then this has more of the pointed edges. And I used a few more. I forget how many I used.
And Karen more than said 6. She's wowing us with these flowers. You're wowing me, Yay! That's for sure.
Good.
They look amazing. Good. That project.
Excellent.
To be honest, I like the color selection for today in your box is just beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Well, again, I only used a smidge of the bubble bath, so mostly it's 2 colors, which I love. These are 2 of my favorite colors. So remember, I only used 4 dies out of this whole floral set. So there's a lot you can do with these flowers. All right, I'm going to put us both on here.
Yeah, Mary Lou said, stop being so creative, Christine. You're brilliant at this stuff, Christine. And then she says, to make me feel slightly better, oh, you've got me back on screen. You too, Ed. I think your box was stunning. Such a joy again watching the 2 of you together. Thank you, Mary Lou. You keep us going.
Thank you. It's fun. It challenges us. So I thought I had to go a little complicated. So Anne went a little simple, like last time. Although I don't think the box is complicated. It just took a couple steps, but I don't think it was complicated. You just follow the template, and then you'll have the template for future boxes. I made one a couple years ago. I think even for Club, we made a Halloween one. If you remember Mary Louise Halloween paper. So it's a box I go back to a couple, every so often. I have a few boxes like that. I do that.
Well, you're going to make me make me, don't you like this? You're going to make me make a box with lining, because I've never, ever done that. So now I'm going to have to.
You could make your lining even thicker. This one, it's a little harder to see because it's like tone on tone. But if you wanted your lining to be even a little thicker, then just figure out the measurements. It's just nice because this one, it's a 6x6 piece of paper. Yeah. So it lends itself to that 1/2 inch border. And here's a strawberry one.
And what a great use of 6x6 paper. I love that idea.
I hate 6x6 paper because I feel like a lot of it gets wasted. Yeah, so it is it's a good size. I mean, because you can fit actually quite a lot of pieces of chocolate in there, right? Look at all those clothespins that could be chocolates. Yeah.
Oh. I'll show you what my clips look like. They were just from the cheap shop. They're just, where are we? They're just like that. So they're...
Hold them up to the camera so we can see.
Oh, thank you. Whoops.
You're welcome. Oh, those are cute.
Yeah, They're called baton, like tennis. Think of a tennis bat or a pickleball. Because I'm not playing pickleball at the moment. Pickleball. What do you call
Oh,
it? Not racket. Paddle. Paddle.
paddle.
That's what they are. Like little.
Oh yeah, they're cute. That's a
Yeah,
perfect clip for
and
this.
they're
Yeah.
very strong, and they're because they're small. I've got pigs as well, but I
Hmm.
find they're useful. So yeah.
Excellent.
Now, would
Oh, let me
you
put
like?
you. Yep. Hold on.
I
Let
know.
me put you just you on screen. So Anne's going to show you for next month, which I didn't bring up the date actually. It's for the US. It's the last Thursday in November, and I think for you it might be December 1st, if I recall. I think it's December 1st for you, so it'd
Well,
be
if yours
November
is the 31st,
30th.
it has to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so we decided that we're going to use brand new product. Mine's not even arrived yet, so that's why Anne's showing it to you.
Oops. Make you busy.
Oh, hold on, Anne. We lost your screen. Anne? Oh, okay. It's back. Someone must have called you
This
again.
is called the Mendring Meadows Designer Series paper. It's like a watercolor finish. Think of a little bit of Monet's paintings, but I'll just show you. I haven't separated these. No, so
It's absolutely beautiful paper. And these were
it is.
hand painted by a Stampin' Up! Artisan. And they showed it for any of you who watched the World Card Making Day. This is the paper they kind of showed you that was painted.
Now, the beauty about this paper is it makes the cards for you. You truly,
Hmm.
you could, if you wished, if you were into simply stamping, you could
It's going to be so
just
hard to
add
cut
a,
that paper
well, it is,
because
but there's a couple of
you have to
tricks that
cut it.
yeah, there's a few tricks for 6x6 papers that you can, you look at the, I mean, I just love the yellow thrown in there.
Hmm.
I mean, it just is divine. Look, truly, you can't, it's not like you're going to have a favorite in this because they're
Right.
all going to be your favorites. They are just, and on the back, they've got like a watercolor wash in
Hmm.
matching colors. So it comes, if you're interested in the suite, it has, I can't remember now, but it's got some embellishments which are like little
They're like the brass
bronze
butterflies. They
brass, exactly.
are,
Yeah.
but let's see, it's a dragonfly and a bird. I think two different birds and a dragonfly.
Oh, thank you. But they're
Hmm.
super, super cute. And then this is the stamp set, and it has dies that match. Now, the dies don't necessarily only cut out this. They've got a lot more to them to add to those scenes. Love, love, love this. Now, this is available as an online exclusive, so you can only buy it online. And you would just go to either
It's not available yet.
oh,
Not till
sorry, the 7th, the 7th
November
of
7th.
November. And but you just go to the to our online store and click on online exclusives. It's in a little menu bar down the side, and that will take you to all the options. And if it's on this very around the 7th, it'll be the first thing that pops up in all probability. It
So
is divine.
it's beautiful. So as a garden club member, I'm very excited for this set.
And I will say, I wouldn't muck around on this paper in particular. I think it will be flying out the door. So,
Yeah,
as
it's gonna go
always, it's
fast.
why stocks last. So,
Yeah.
don't muck around on it.
So if that's a nice segue, Anne. If you like this suite so much that you can't wait till November 7th, you can actually put it in a joining kit, a starter kit. So if you wanted to join Stampin' Up! In October at this great, that 35% sale or offer, you can actually put this suite in your joining kit. So you don't have to wait till November 7th.
And that applies to both Australia and the
Yep.
US, that offer.
Yep.
So,
All right. So let me put
IDO.
us both back on. So yeah, so we're gonna play with that set. Mine hasn't even arrived yet, so I don't know what project I'm gonna make, but we will make something fun.
Oh, but the challenge is on. As I said to
Yeah.
Christine, I think I said it yesterday, not that it's a competition, is
I
it?
wrote that in the description. I said it's not a competition, but let us know who you like.
I didn't see that. No, look, it isn't a competition, but it is a challenge for us to step it up. It doesn't mean make it more difficult or,
But have
complex or
something that's
anything.
is that kind of we design to share with
Yeah,
everybody versus
yeah,
and then we want you to copy us versus us
yeah,
copying someone else. We're
yeah,
trying to come up with our own designs. Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I found it really, really good because I'm having to think out of the box and exactly right. It has to be from me, not from anybody else.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
All right. So Anne, your homework is to take pictures of your cards in envelopes, and
yeah,
I will take pictures of my box and my sizes, my templates, and then we will post it on each other's pages so that you guys, everyone, can see the finished projects that we did today. Um, and let's see.
and I'll add my
Did you?
measurements as well.
Oh, Karen says, this is actually kind of funny, Karen. You don't even know that it's funny. I do hope you communicate and use two different patterns. And the reason why this is funny is for the last couple of
Oh,
weeks, unbeknownst to each other, we have done not quite similar, but kind of similar projects or using the same papers or the same stamp sets for our lives. And we haven't told each other what we're making. And then, so I'll make something on like the slim line, yeah, cards that I did on my live this week. I used paper that Ann said, I'm using that paper on my live project this week. And then we did it
but
again for something else.
it's unfair because you get your live in first.
It is unfair. I'm sure we will do something different. And maybe what we could do is we'll demonstrate maybe one project, but show alternate projects with the suite. How about we do
Yep,
that? We could show a couple of things,
yep,
but we'll just teach one.
yep.
That way you get
Sounds great.
different things. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So what else is that might be it that we have. Thanks so much. I'm so glad.
Sorry, Christine, you've dropped out my end, but that's okay. Bye, everybody, in case you can hear me, but I can't hear anything now. Oh.